We are waiting to load up on our own channel. Or what?
The Twitch app never actually work on the Xbox, correct? But it's not designed for the Xbox. Like, is it? Like, they just have it just to have it. It's not designed correctly. No, it's not. It's so poorly done. It doesn't even work with the format that it's like trying to meld with. Like, they're like forcing it. And you can't. It has such low quality. Like the Xbox can't even stream it. The quality, I mean, yeah, it's not quite the same quality as it's streaming on the computer, but it's decent enough. I just need it in the background so I can see weird. And I'm like, oh man, show up
It also gives me this nice purple tint on my face. It makes me look like Two-Face.
Yeah. Welcome to the Money Match stream.
Oh, are we here?
Mm-hmm.
We live? We up in here? Oh, baby. What's up, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of the Money Match Gaming Talk Show. If you joined us for the last episode, you would know that we talked E3. If you didn't join us for the last episode, hey, we talked about E3 last time. And we're going to start this week's by giving some reactions about E3. Does anyone want to talk about how they felt? Oh, but let's do introductions first. Shit. My name is Dan. I am here. I don't have an AKA. I guess Poomer Jam. You can go Poomer Jam if you want to add me on Xbox. Get at me. We also have Lance, aka The Infinite.
What's up, y'all? Was really good. Just keep it simple, man. Just Lance the Infinite.
We have Dave, aka The D.
What up, everybody?
And of course, as always, we have the great Alvin as Mr. Smurf, or also known as Mr. Smurf. Just Smurf. Mr. Smurf to me. Mr. Smurf is my father, is how I was hoping he would respond to that, but instead he just did an arm dance, and you know what? Sometimes an arm dance is all right.
Lame.
all right. The D over here. Calm down. Why don't you start us off? How'd you feel about E3? Winners, losers?
There's only one winner. There was only one winner.
And that was?
BioWare with Beyond Good and Evil 2. I mean, it stole the show. If you have not seen the cinematic for Beyond Good and Evil 2, go to it.
BioWare game?
Yeah, it is. Isn't it BioWare?
No.
Who is it then?
Not BioWare. Bethesda, maybe?
Oh, no, it's Ubisoft.
No. Ubisoft. There we go, yeah.
Ubisoft stole the show.
BioWare had Anthem.
Yeah, that's right. Anthem. That's what I was thinking. We'll get to that later. But Beyond Good and Evil 2, I was stoked. I played the first one back in the day, and when I saw it come back, I was like, oh my god. And all of E3 was losing their mind over this cinematic. Tell me all of you have seen it.
Yeah, no, it was good. My only issue was, like, maybe a little less F-bombs in the cinematic, but it's Ubisoft, and they always do that, but so whatever. It's not, like, it didn't really, like, deter me from wanting to play the game. I mean, it still looked beautiful, and I like that it's a prequel to the first one.
Right.
But, yeah, just, there's other words other than fuck.
Yeah, right. When the second or third time I watched it, I'm like, you know what? They probably say F a little bit too much, but the game, it looks so spectacular that I was just like, you know what? I'm going to let this fly.
But, I mean, it's to be fair, it was just, like, nothing to take away from the trailer, but it was no actual gameplay or anything. It was just kind of like we're here, this is getting made, don't worry about it, just let it happen, we'll release it when it's ready.
And that's what some of my friends were saying. My friends were saying, like, yeah, that trailer looked amazing, but, like, what, is this going to be, like, a StarCraft type of game, or is this, like, a turn-based strategy game? And I'm like, no, man, you got to hit up the actual gameplay of the first one and check it out, because there's so much you can do. And
you can get the first one on, they actually, the reason I have it is because it was free for the month on Xbox at one point, so it's probably pretty cheap backwards compatible.
There's so many dynamic things you can do. The thing you can race boats. You can race like spaceships. You can do puzzles. You can sneak. Like there's an espionage type of feel to it. As long as
to keep
and
you
also,
busy for hours.
yeah, dude, and like it paved the way for those of you that are Assassin's Creed fans. Like it paved the way for the transitionary fight system that's in the game for transitioning from one enemy to another, where the main character can hit enemies and then like turn around and automatically just by pointing your stick at the next enemy and hit them. So it paved the way for a lot of Ubisoft games that have that mode in it. And there's so much to do in it. It's going to be so exciting. If you haven't seen any of it or you don't know what this is, check it out. Beyond Good and Evil, the first and the second one. Check it out, man. It's so
honestly never heard a bad thing about that game. I still haven't played through a lot of it. I played through maybe like an hour or two of it when it came out free for the month, but I do have intentions of going back to it. And I've never, like I said, I've never really heard a bad thing. Anyone I know who's actually played the game really, really loves it and was really, really hyped about the new trailer. So I think that's a cool thing that they announced. But another thing that you mentioned accidentally at the beginning was BioWare. They announced their new IP, Anthem, which is essentially Iron Man the game, but they don't want to call it that for licensing issues.
Right.
How do you guys feel about that? I mean, it looked kind of cool, but at the same time, right? And maybe it's just me. It looked pretty, for sure.
The first thing that I noticed when that drew me to it, and Lance and I had a text conversation after this. I'm like, dude, the moment that they flew and dove down, like I was like, yes, and it was like a giant forest area, and it just encompassed like you were living on a whole different type of planet that just felt.
It looked just like Halo.
I was gonna say,
I was like, what did they steal this from? What was that? Halo 3? I was like, what did they steal directly?
I thought it looked like
Halo 3?
The beginning of the story from Titanfall 2.
The only difference is they stole the other part of the intro from another Halo where you're dropping from the sky before you enter the jungle. But I'm like, what the hell? And then but they were in Titans. But I'm like, this atmosphere feels.
Well, they weren't really in
similar.
Titans. They just had mech suits. They had like Iron Man suits.
And like the planet more reminded me of like an Avatar planet. So like you could have thrown Avatar the game on that title, and I'd been like, okay, yes, this makes sense. But everything, the moment that grabbed me was when the one dude had a mortar on his suit.
I'm gonna make a meme, and I'm gonna just title it like "New suits come to Halo." What are your thoughts? People are gonna be like, "What?"
The meme train is running in Smurf's brain right now.
And I'm gonna make a second meme. Titanfall 3 already set to release.
Everybody else can be not like have their own opinions about it, but the moment that dude used a mortar and that explosions and shit happened, I was like, this looks dope. I want it.
I thought it looked cool. I think BioWare makes pretty good games. The Dragon Quest games are solid. Mass Effect, right? They do Mass Effect.
Yeah.
Most people like those games. I've never played them really, so I don't have a leg to stand on. But I don't know. I'll wait and see. It definitely looked really pretty. Granted, it was running at on 4K at 1080p on the Xbox One X, which we could talk about a little bit later. But yeah, it looked pretty. That's it. That's basically it.
I would say that it reminds me of Destiny. Like that's just my guess. Is that's like going to be what Destiny was supposed to. Now, unfortunately, all my friends talked me out of getting Destiny, and I'm kind of sad that I listened to that. And I really like games like that, especially when I have a group of people to play with, and that's really why people talk me out of getting Destiny. They were just like, oh, we're not doing it. And
did they say anything about Anthem being multiplayer?
Yeah,
it is.
Is it? Oh, well, because none of the other BioWare games are, so I just assumed that followed the trend.
I mean, it's
single-player
multiplayer at least already, so like...
Yeah. And you can do up to 4, and I think Destiny you could only do 3 unless that changed from what I remember from launch, which is kind of that's stupid.
No, you could do up to 6 in Destiny because that's how you do raids where 6 people.
Well, back in the day, you could only do like
learn some. Sorry.
So. Yeah. I mean, like, I think that's how they started, though, where it was, like, just 3, and then they were going to introduce the double raid type of situation, because they did have some schematics of them being in battle and their little battle group, and then they had, like, a joint event where random 3 other people jumped in and kind of participated in the event. It didn't really seem like they started that way, and I don't know how that ended up turning out, because, again, my friends talked me out of it.
I honestly didn't watch a whole lot of the Anthem presentation post like the first trailer they showed because I was like, oh, this looks cool, but I want to see more stuff and I don't really care about this too much.
And hopefully they just, do good with the
pretty
story. Because that's what I'm scared about, a lot of these open world type games.
BioWare usually does an all right job with their stories.
It's just like, they're just so shit, Nothing that pulls you in, It's just kind of like, yeah, we have stories, but I mean, it's all about the side quests and the random things you can do in the world. And I'm just not that type of guy. I like Fallout, but, kind of wish, it was a little bit more close to my heart. Although I know there's a lot of people who like the Fallout story.
What about some other game announcements? Did any other game announcements really strike you as like, yeah, this is dope?
The Metroid. That's probably about it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I thought that was the biggest announcement of the weekend. Not even because they didn't even. All they did was just like, hey guys, look, here's a logo for the game. Shut the fuck up. Nintendo. And they did it right after. They did it for the same exact thing for Pokemon, where there's a guy just like sitting at a computer and he's like, oh, hey, didn't see you there. Pokemon on the Switch? It's happening. Chill out. Bye.
Well, they should have did that with Smash too, though. And, our team released a meme thanks to Smurf and Dan there. Dan did the script. Smurf did the graphics and stuff like that. And there's just no reason. And we got a little bit of feedback where people were kind of like, well, they don't need to announce it. Everybody knows it's coming. And it's like, you should announce it, though.
Yeah, but you just got to, like, put a timetable on it,
No, you don't.
Give people who are going to sell their Wii U a chance to sell their Wii U.
You got to just go, look, hey, we're making it. And then everybody would shut the fuck up. But they, can't even do that. And everybody's like, well, what about their other game sales? Well, if your game sucks, then I don't know what to tell you. Make better games, I guess, And I mean, obviously, Nintendo doesn't make bad games.
No, they don't. They do a pretty good job with their main IPs.
You could at least tell us to wait for the next event where they're gonna at the next event we'll be talking about Smash something, or
I mean,
I don't know.
Listen, like I wrote in that downfall thing, they do 6 E3s a year, Nintendo. So we'll be getting more information on Smash, I think, hopefully before the end of this 2017 year.
I mean, at the end of the day, they could have announced it, and then they could have went in more detail later on, like they did with the 2 other titles. And it's like, people are happy. That's all we want. But they're like, oh, well, we got to push these fighting games, these other ones we made. And it's like, no, quit jerking my chain. If people want to buy it, they're going to buy it. And if we got to wait a year for those other games, then we wait a year. But
you said fighting game, and that's right. I forgot about one of my favorite announcements from this weekend, that new Dragon Ball Z fighter game, which looks incredible.
It does look fantastic, but Dragon Ball Z games tend to suck. So.
Yeah, but that one looks not shitty. That's the first Dragon Ball Z game that I've ever actually looked at and was like, holy shit, this looks like a playable game?
See, the thing is though, the thing about these fucking games is they make it look flashy, but the fighting itself is just trash. So
I've been watching gameplay all weekend and people reviewing on it, and it's supposedly really, really good.
If you think about Budokai, if you think about Budokai,
it's gonna be like body swap. I hear
one at a time.
Body swap with Capcom. All of a sudden, DBZ is Capcom. Capcom is DBZ. Body swap. Blame Ginyu.
Blame Ginyu.
Dude, but Infinite, I played the Infinite story demo. I don't know if any of you guys played it. It doesn't feel great. The MVC Infinite, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody says that's exactly. That's why this has been a body swap. Everybody's like, yeah, Marvel vs. Capcom is really going downhill, and DBZ is going up. And I don't know if you noticed the DBZ fighting style, but it looked kind of like
it's a mix between Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and Guilty Gear.
Yeah, it looked exactly like that. I'm like, wow, this is not too complex, but it has those things that you wanted in there. They toned it down a little bit, and Capcom's like, yeah, we've advanced, and we're shitty now. Cool.
Yeah, look how blocky Captain America's chest looks.
It's just
you're gonna lose one of your friends. It's gonna be 2-on-2 combat in a way slowed down combat with the same fucking controls.
See, what I'm afraid of.
One button that you can hold, and it does a combo for you.
What I'm afraid of is they do the Budokai thing, and they just make a game that can in no way, shape, or form be actually competitive, because it'll be too gimmicky. So Budokai, had a gimmick system to where it's like you press back X, forward X, and you would auto merge and attack, and don't do that.
See now, and that's
That
what
doesn't
in
look
this
like
game.
it's there though. If this looks more like
So
some
in
of
this
the
game,
old
you
PlayStation
have
Dragon
like the
Ball Z
quick
games,
movements.
but mixed with.
You have like the quick teleport movements, but it takes up a bar and you're like super.
Fuck. Well, it depends on how much super they have, and if it
You have
plays more
I
like
think you can max out at like 8 or 9 bars.
So if it plays like Budokai, I'm upset. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, okay,
No,
if it's
like I
flashy,
said, it
it's
plays
cool,
like Marvel vs.
I don't give a
Capcom
fuck.
2 and Guilty Gear.
If it plays like Budokai, I'm just please don't Budokai.
It looks just like Capcom 2.
Watch video when you're done, and you'll be like,
Yeah,
"Oh
have
shit!"
you not seen
No,
It plays like
I've watched a fair amount of video,
It looks,
but like
how do
if
you
it's
not,
like one move,
how does this not
like,
exactly?
auto
How does this not
defenses?
like directly remind you of Marvel vs. Capcom?
I mean,
I just can't wait
obviously
to see what the full roster is. To be honest,
they should have every fucking character in the show. There's no reason they shouldn't.
they should, but they won't. You know they won't.
I know they won't, but that's stupid about
not
these
for
games.
free, bro.
That's what's stupid about these fucking games. Is
Give
like,
me that $8 for 2 characters, yo.
GT is releasing
like they should
next fall.
honestly just like simplify their kits. Nobody really cares that much if you simplify their kits, but put everybody that's supposed to be in there. Like I hated that about Marvel vs. Capcom, where they just
There's
like
way
had a
too
whole
many characters in
I
Marvel
don't
vs.
give a
Capcom.
fuck. I don't give
There's
a fuck.
way too
Keep
many.
the kits the
You're
same and
asking for
upgrade the
so
graphics.
much. That's like saying,
the kit the
I
same.
want Smash Brothers to include every Nintendo character. Yeah, that's
I
right.
do.
All 800 Pokemon should be their own separate characters because they're all Nintendo characters.
Everybody that's been added to the game, they should do their best to make sure that they're in the other game. You alienize your fan base. Like I was upset Marvel vs. Capcom. Like, mind you, I think the game's shit, so it doesn't bother me that much. But Cyclops wasn't in there. Like that's who I played.
It's not their choice. It's licensing issues, man. That's why there's no X-Men characters in Infinite. There's not even.
Well, I understand that. I'm saying you should work hard to make sure that's possible. But obviously, in some situations, that's not going to be possible. And I understand the licensing issue.
It is possible. They just got to drop a hefty chunk of change, probably.
But the whole Dragon Ball Z, I'm sure they don't have that problem. I'm sure they can put wherever they fucking want.
Licensing right to all the characters. But there's so many characters in Dragon Ball Z lore, it'd be insane.
So keep their kits simple. Nobody really cares that much.
But
they don't
here's
care.
the thing: you say you want the simple kits, but then when all the characters feel the goddamn same, you're gonna be pissed off and be like, "Why does every character in this game feel the same?"
For characters nobody really gives a fuck, but people want to see. Just because, let's think about all the Dragon Ball Z games. You didn't play with every character. You played with Goku. You
Yamcha and Krillin got the same moves, except for one got Destructo Disc. I'm cool.
And then what's the 3-Eye Cyclops dude? I forgot his name. I can't believe I forgot. Tien and Yamcha were very similar. They had a lot of shared moves.
Right. Like I think, yeah. There's obviously some characters.
Nobody fucking complained about that. Not a single fucking soul complained about that. Do that.
Well, we'll just have to
take
wait.
The kits from other games. I don't care. Just put them in there.
We'll have to wait and see because sadly, I can't increase the process of that game being made. Although I wish I could because I would play that shit. And I don't even really care about fighting games too much anymore. But that game looks hype as fuck, like super hype. That was probably like my biggest like when I saw the trailer during the Xbox presentation, I was like, well, now this looks like a good game. It was the first one that really like did that for me until and I think it was really like there was a couple things in the Xbox one that did it for me. Nothing in the PlayStation one. Sony was pretty god awful this year. They were like, look at God of War again. Look at Uncharted Girl Edition, which is fine. Like we already have that. It's called Tomb Raider. Look at whatever. Like we didn't release any cool looking JRPGs this year. Oh, then fuck that. I don't give a shit about you then right now, Sony.
I think they're in these ruts. I think like games in general are in these ruts. I think they're kind of like learning how to deal with the mainstream, learning how to make popular games that still honor the tradition of what the games actually are. And I think that's where a lot of the pollution of these games are coming from. Is like, hey, there's big money in it, and we've hit like new caps of how much money we can make off these games.
Right.
Hence, Call of Duty being born. It's just
well, I mean, the only reason microtransactions exist is because people pay for them.
Right.
That's basically it. If the first game that did it, if like Candy Crush was like offered microtransactions, and everybody was like, "Nah, we good. We don't need an extra heart every 5 minutes." It wouldn't be like like we wouldn't have like, "Oh, you want skins for your guns? $8." Or I don't know why $8 is my common DLC price, which usually nothing is charged for $8 except for Smash characters where they had ridiculous weird amounts to them. Like, oh, you want Cloud? $13.82. What? what kind of?
We got you. We got you. But yeah, I really have a feeling DBZ is going to be a Budokai on steroids. And I really hope that that's not the case. Cause
I think it's going to be a Marvel's Capcom 2 with Dragon Ball Z characters.
Nothing will ever be Budokai again, and the world will be better for it.
Burst Limit was shitty too. Burst Limit sucked.
You can think of Budokai
Everybody Burst
as
Limit just came down to who can hit the buttons faster.
It's sealed away now.
Yeah, this is typically trash games. So it's like, you guys have high hopes. I'm just being realistic.
Yeah.
Let's see the track record of Dragon Ball Z video games. When you really boil it down,
fair, let's look at the track record for Let's look at the track record for any video games based off of anime, and you'll have like 3% success rate.
The PlayStation ones, like pretty much all the PlayStation ones, except for I don't know why people play Budokai. That's America's fault.
Well, because they're fanboys. That has like one of the strongest fanboys around.
True. I mean, I own 3 One Piece games, and I've never enjoyed them.
I mean,
I've played through 3 of them. Didn't like any of them.
Yeah, see? I mean, there you go. It's
gotta get that fan service, bro.
It's the love for their fucking shit, you know? And I think Dragon Ball Z is terrible, especially after I've watched a bunch of other anime. I just like finally realized, yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. But I want to go into what I liked about the E3, which I'm just going to say it, it's the Xbox. I am a little bit of an Xbox fanboy. Mm-hmm. It's kind of my thing. Obviously, they didn't really release anything that's spectacular. But again, I think
I thought they had a really good presentation. I mean, they announced 44 new games. Granted, a lot of them were indie titles, but a lot of them looked really, really good. And all of them look good running on the new console.
Oh, yeah, of course. But, I mean, time will tell. It's not no blockbuster. I'm waiting for blockbuster to do
and right. I don't know if they'll ever really have a new IP blockbuster specific to Microsoft that'll be like the shit. I hope
they have to,
but
they'll
I don't
die if they don't.
Probably. Who knows?
I mean, who knows? They'll die. 100% they'll die. I mean, that's what's killing, I think consoles in general, is they're just not making perfect games, And I mean, everybody's like, well, it's perfect. Well, they've made plenty of perfect games.
Persona
Halo
5.
Halo 2. Halo
perfect
fucking
game.
3. Fucking 007. Mario Party, the original.
Mario Odyssey looks pretty fucking fantastic.
It does look fantastic, but again, I'm not the biggest Mario fan.
Persona 5, perfect game.
Typically, the old Final Fantasy series, so 7, fucking 10, 6, and I don't know what other ones people like, because those are the ones I like.
7's good, 10's alright, 10-2 is not great, 12 is weird, 13 some really people like, 15 was solid. 15
I didn't like 15.
Really? I like 15.
It's not the fucking same game. And I actually listened to a podcast of people talking about it.
I like the fact that it wasn't just like every other Final Fantasy game. And I didn't mind the combat system. I thought it looked really pretty. I I felt like I really got along with the teammates, like Prompto and Gladio and Ignis. I thought that as I played through the game, I'm like, man, these guys are my friends. I like these guys. I like hanging around with them.
Well,
and I didn't get that feeling from a lot of games.
I'm gonna do a shameless plug here. We possibly might be working with Experience Grind. They talk about Final Fantasy 15. I like a lot of the things that they say about it, and they were like, "This story's shit. It's like the shittiest shit ever." It starts off, and you're like, "Yeah, I really like this stuff," and then you get to a really grinding stage of the show, and then they're like, "All right, we've spent too much time trying to create this game. We just need to push this shit out," and then they rush the ending. And mind you, I didn't play through it that much because I played the first I don't know.
I
2
will
hours
agree
and
that
it's
the
kinda like,
ending of the game is very strange. I will agree. It didn't really make a whole lot of sense. But to be fair, a lot of Final Fantasy game endings don't make sense. I.e., 10 is goofy.
It is a little weird. But I mean, like,
So
weird's better than fucking awful. You know, when people are like, I'm a super fanboy, and yes, it was an awful ending. I'm like, yeah, it probably was. You know, and they're like, not much to say. They were like, they did like the Aeon part, where they had really strong Aeons, and they were kind of extremely overpowered and stuff like that.
You mean
but
like
I mean,
the summons?
yeah. So I mean, it's just for me, they just need to get back into making good games again. Holistic games. It's like they're kind of fucking up the fighting industry as well, making these games with that are trying to incorporate shitty players to be good players and shit like that. Like make a game that's competent, create a good ranking system so people who are terrible at the game don't face fucking monsters in the game, and it'll work out. Just make a game that's
I agree. We do need a Persona 5 fighter Ultimax. Good choice, Lance. Good choice. We do need it.
But I mean,
Persona 5 Ultimax.
That's definitely the only thing I was like, kind of like, oh yeah, the Xbox is coming out with another fantastic machine. That's awesome. Hopefully, we get some good games. It's like pretty much all I can say.
I mean,
and so like that's why my
E3
was. I'm going to buy it. Probably be, one of the firsts. Pre-order it.
Yeah, I'll wait on that. Only because I don't have a 4K TV, and I know it'll look sort of better on my TV, but it's not worth the $500 investment if I'm only like getting a minor upgrade.
Is it minor? Would you call it minor?
Well, I mean, it's major, I guess, if you think about all the load times and all that shit, but I don't really think about that much. I mean, mainly, I would just like to have it for the aesthetics, because I hate the way the Xbox regular one looks like. Fucking server box ass piece of shit.
I guess it does look like a
looks like it just looks like it looks like it belongs in a goddamn server room. Like the Xbox One S, like that's a nice console. That's a cute console.
That's a nice console.
But this thing is stupid. It's poorly designed, but it works great, so I have no problem with it.
So to finish thoughts, overall, I'm not super dead set on liking games before they come out, because we've just had a series of shitty games when you really distill them down to their simple forms, and like I'll just wait till the newest gen comes out that I can smile and go, I have no complaints. I'm not going to be like, they could have did this better, they could have did that better. It's just a great fucking game, and they can do it because they've done it before.
All right, last question in the E3 topic, and then we'll move on to the next topic. Real quick, everyone give me an answer. Is there anything that you were happy or disappointed that you didn't see at E3? Let's start with Lance.
I mean, obviously, it's Smash.
Smash.
Like, everybody was kind of like, well, we know it's coming, but we want to hear it from you. We want the official, yes, we're making a new one. It's in the works. We love our fans. We love what you guys want, and we're going to provide that for you. But no, they said, fuck you. We present what we want because we're Nintendo.
Yeah, but their presentation was fantastic, though. I'm not going to lie.
I mean, they have, but still, what excuse? What excuse? Well, we're trying to sell other fighting games. Okay, so if you say the Smash is coming out in 2 years, how's that going to change the sales of these other games?
Like I said, Nintendo does 6 E3s of their own a year, or even more than that sometimes. They do these directs often, and that gives people information on their products. So we'll be hearing about Smash sooner or later, I believe. It would have been nice to see it on the big stage, but I don't give a shit. It'll happen when it happens. I don't have a Switch yet, so all I know is that when they announce it, it means I have to start looking at my bank account.
And then,
what about you, Dave?
Wait. And then I want a Pikmin. I really enjoy Pikmins.
Pikmin? Pikmin would be cool. People, I've never played the Pikmin games a lot, but people really have taken liking to that game and Animal Crossing. What about you, Dave? What were you unhappy to not see? Or was there nothing?
I was unhappy in general.
In general?
I mean, it's one thing... it's one thing to completely ignore a popular game like that, but from my perspective, I wanted more. I wanted more, and I don't feel like a lot of people got shown what they wanted. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm wording that incorrectly,
I understand what you mean. I think essentially that you don't know exactly what you're looking for, but from the things that you got, you wanted more out of them.
Yeah.
Sounds like you
That's
should be single.
that's a good way of putting it.
Were teased a little bit too hard throughout all the presentations, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
I can respect that. I mean, that's how I feel for a lot of this stuff too. I mean, and then the ones that they give you long, in-depth presentations are shit that I don't care about. Like they talked about like Assassin's Creed for 2 hours, and I was just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I was not excited about Assassin's Creed, and everyone's like so pumped about it. I'm like, you realize it's gonna have the same shortcomings as the last couple.
Yeah,
like
dude, when he curved that goddamn arrow in the gameplay thing, I was like, "Fuck this game! Fuck this curving arrow! What is this? What is this wanted?"
Right?
There's already a Wanted game, and it was terrible, and it was too bad because that movie was dope.
Like the moment that happened too, I had a what the fuck come to Jesus moment. I'm like, this is stupid.
Yeah.
Why? Why do you feel like you can control an arrow in midair, and how do you think that makes sense?
Science, you know.
Yeah, science. Back in ancient Egypt.
What about you, Smurf Vin? How do you feel about what was something that you disappointed you by not seeing, other than Smash, of course?
Other than Smash, man, I don't know. I can't really say there's much else that I was really expecting from the E3.
Yeah,
I did want to see the Assassin's Creed to a certain extent, and I got to see it, and I didn't want to see as much, honestly, but yeah.
Yeah. See, for me, I was happy that that Mario Rabbids game actually looks not shitty. I was really surprised about that. That was, I guess, kind of cool. If there's something that I wanted them to announce that they didn't, it was all like JRPGs on the Xbox. What am I spending my money on now? Or not on the Xbox, on the PlayStation. Like, I have this JRPG box. Where do I put my money? What games are coming out for it? And they didn't give me any of that. Obviously, I was looking for Atlas to make some sort of like Persona spin-off announcement, like Persona 5 Dancing All Night, for me to jizz in my pants about. But what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? But anyway, let's move on to the next topic. And Lance, I'll let you take over for this one.
Okay, so see, these are some of my topics for today. I kind of wanted to talk about some general topics, just some general things, and we'll go into mods for video games. I'm going to do a little prep for mods for video games. And essentially, this is just the general, hey, I wish video games made more sandboxes for people to play in. I'm really into the whole Super Mario Maker type of deal, the whole Skyrim, let's expand on the game that they created and stuff. And I think there are some safe ways to do that. And I think, in general, well, actually, I left out some of the big ones. So StarCraft has a giant arcade that people make their own versions of games. Games were born from that. A good example would be Dota. Born from a Warcraft game. It's just like, it has so much potential, and it's created so much good content for their game, their brand, and so on and so forth, that I just don't understand why they just don't take that more serious. It's like, like really, like it has so much potential, and people do so much with it that I think they just need to start building these sandboxes for people to play in.
I think we're definitely seeing a lot more than we used to. Which I guess would be a positive thing for you. However, I don't necessarily agree. Like, not every game needs to be a sandbox. I kind of like games that are already made for me, so I can just play them. But I do like the option of like mutators, for example, like in Rocket League, creating your own version of the same game. I think that's okay. But another issue I kind of have with mods is. I don't think it's an issue with mods per se, but like, for example, if you look at Bethesda this year, they announced at their E3 presentation the the Creation Club, the Bethesda Creation Club, which is a paid for third-party mod service, which I think is kind of goofy. Like, I don't want to pay for mods, but at the same time, I guess I get it. Like, you're supporting these third-party developers and doing the creating these mods for you. So I don't know. I'm like on the fence about the whole modding community. Like, I like it to some extent, but at the same time, I'm not going to really mod my games, so it doesn't really change my opinion so much. I tend to just play the regular version.
If they make it easy and then they incorporate it in a way that just makes sense, I imagine that you would retract that statement. It's just like easy skin upgrades, easy character adds that people are like, oh, well, we can't get it added, and if they just kind of create a situation to where like, yeah, we'll allow you to mod it. And so suddenly you get a character in a game that technically doesn't have the license to do it because it's a third party and it doesn't cost any money. Like, what's the issue? Like, what are they going to say? It's
yeah, I mean, I guess they have that, and they have that, like, for example, for Smash, you have Project M for Brawl, which is essentially that. But I don't know. Like, I get it, and I like it, and there's a lot of things about modding that I really do like. And I think if people want it as an option, then yeah, cool. Like, do it. Let it be an option. But I wouldn't put all my eggs into the mod basket,
What do some of the other members think about the modding situation?
I mean, I don't think games or the companies themselves need to make so much of a change toward things. I mean, to an extent, maybe, but not really. Not really. I think it's a niche, like kind of like very subculture. Like it's just super like grindy subculture where you're a fanboy. You're like deep underground, and that's part of its kind of appeal right now. I don't know what that would look like if we really went mainstream, but I'm sure they would somehow ruin it. Um, um, and I mean, I think where it's at right now is kind of fine. It's growing. Um, and I don't know. I feel like we do see it a lot more than we used to in games. Because before, I mean, like, very much the same. You were like late night lurker, gamer guy who somehow knew how to mod and shit like that. And I don't know. Like, I remember my first modding experience with a game was one of my friends who like down the street from me, who just ended up like I don't know how the fuck he learned it, but he just knew how to like mod like fucking Xbox and shit. And like most people, like I had a few friends that like, oh yeah, we modded like the whatever the heck, for the Xbox. But then he would like also have like, it would also be modded online. Um, and it was just, I don't know, it was just like crazy shit where you, I don't know, if you're like running around and you're shooting a pistol, and then instead of like a normal pistol bullet, it's like either it's like shooting a wraith shot, or you shoot the rocket launcher and no rocket comes out, but a banshee drops from the sky. Like just really weird shit that they would just like fuck around.
Yeah, I mean, well, like, and that's the cool thing about like the modding community, and I'll give it to you, is like the amount of imagination some people have, like fucking putting Thomas the Tank Engine or Thomas the Train. What is his name? He could be either of those. I'll say the first one. Thomas the Tank Engine has a better sound to it. So that guy, they put him in like Skyrim and stuff, and like I know there was a lot of people who added the other, like the older like Oblivion and Morrowind games into the Skyrim universe. Like they modded on the computer. The only reason I know that is because my buddy Keith is like he still plays Skyrim because he's got some issue. I don't know.
Well, no, it's like Skyrim's got a super huge community because
dude, I don't know how people still play Skyrim this long after the game came out. That game gets real boring real quick.
People love dragons and dinosaurs, and people love MMORPGs. Like people love like that in general.
But see, like that's the thing. It's not an MMO. Like if that game was an MMO, I would understand it. But it's just you by yourself exploring this vast open land, which I guess. And
they still get to do with dragons, which I don't know. Well, it's entering their fantasy. So.
Well, do you understand like how serious those mods are? To where they have completely different stories. They completely
yeah. Like I get that.
Story plots. They change the way characters interact. It's a whole new fucking game.
Well, I mean, like, and you're saying that, but like that's the exact same thing you're getting from Elder Scrolls Online now, where it's like. From beginning to where they are now, people are just saying they've made enough updates where it's different, but they've also expanded the map in the game. They've also added Morrowind. They're adding Oblivion. What if they add Skyrim? And it's like, it's just constantly everything. It's just like consistently coming to it. And then I believe that was only in Skyrim or whatever, right? But like, or maybe it is an Elder Scrolls one. I can't remember which one's adding it, but they're adding the Link skin.
Oh, they Skyrim for the Switch. Which, by the way, calm down, Bethesda. Work on a new game. Stop releasing Skyrim for every goddamn
There's
console.
so many Skyrim fans.
I don't need Skyrim on my iPhone anymore. You know, I don't have it yet, but I'm sure they're working on it for some reason.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wouldn't.
Bethesda is just Skyrim on a different platform every year.
I don't know why they're so hype on it, but yeah, the other portions I do think there's a decent amount of and I mean I'm a fan of the modding communities. I think gaming companies themselves step in a little bit like that on their own, and the ones that do it, like it's thank you. More of them should take that type of practice, but
I like the sandbox aspect, but I also like control.
Yeah,
at the same time,
I thought I was gonna get
which
that
is
from
why,
Smash
which
Bros.
is
At
like
first.
my problem with like computer, like for example, Counter-Strike, right? Like I used to play Counter-Strike back in the day, and it was hard to tell what like rooms had mods on them and which didn't. And when you would join a room with mods, it would sometimes completely ruin the gaming experience.
Well, and I mean that's why the whole point of the whole sandbox experience, to where like like there's a safe way to do it.
Controlled is that's my main issue. I want there to be some more control over it. I like the imagination, but sometimes there's only too many times I can hear All Star by Smash Mouth with a donkey chasing after me in fucking like a Gary's mod or like a Counter-Strike map that I'm good.
See, like I thought Smash Bros. Was going to do a better job at it too, with their like ability to get like different like costume items and stuff like that for your memes, and so it was looking really good. And then
that's something that I wish Smash would do, where that you could like unlock different costumes or even like change your other. You could for your Mii, but I didn't like the Mii's moveset. I wanted like
I wasn't even upset with the moveset. They could have added more to the moveset, but it was still like a good addition to the game. It became frustrating with like the Mii's and stuff like that, and I didn't realize this until later on, and then I think I stopped like completely because it's the only reason why I was actually playing the other mode, Smash. But eventually, I do like Project just like you just couldn't get certain clothing items that you wanted to get and stuff like that. And that's what I think. If they just continue to kind of like add skins and clothing items that you could get like that through playing, that would have been perfect. And then they shortchanged you by making it so that you could get some of the items only on 3DS, and then like some they like some of them only, like some fucking like Pokemon Red and Blue type shit or something. And so it was just like stupid. And so like there I am wanting to make an Uzumaki Naruto, and I can't get the right orange suit palette to work because it's only available on 3DS.
Now, if you create the character on 3DS, would you be able to transfer it to the Xbox?
I don't think you can.
Yeah.
See, and the other thing is it saved a lot of games. So I don't think you guys play a whole bunch of RTSs, but like Civilization.
I don't play. I play a lot of RTS. I played Civilization.
But Civilization, I feel like that game, especially 5, was saved by mods. Because I mean, some they're just not good at balancing their games. I feel like, or they just stopped giving a fuck. And it's just like, okay, well, there are a fair amount of people who fucking love your game and are willing to fix the problems you aren't willing to fix. And it saved that game.
And I think mods maybe if it was the case they opened up the mods like in like their like when they're like really starting to move out, And it's like, okay.
Yeah, I think when a developer is done like working on the game, and they're like, all right, here we go, we want to open up like for modding. I think that's fine.
Yeah, like if Battlefront or something like that would have done that, people would have Battlefront, all sorts of perfectly it would be beautiful.
Yeah.
See.
Beautiful.
I just believe in people's talent a little bit more than you guys, especially like after the StarCraft arcade experience, because there are so many phenomenal games that were made simply from the arcade, and it's entire own game basically, where you can go in and you can just play a bunch of shit that like some of us here like. So like Smurf, we used to play Special Forces, in StarCraft.
Yeah,
Where
and I'm
you
not saying
get a
I
little
don't like
dude
that
and upgrade
idea and
it
stuff
and
like
stuff
that.
like
I'm
that.
just saying, at StarCraft, if I were going to, and if I were a new age star, so if I was just starting StarCraft today, and I was making it, and I already had the idea to maybe accept some, like, we're gonna work on some mods and stuff like that as a company. I would do that as a company, and then after about 2 years or so, when we were like, all right, guys, we've kind of blown through a lot of our money and stuff like that, we really just need to fall back on our sales, and try to prepare for our next project. We're gonna open it up for open modding. I
Mhm.
would do it that way instead of just giving people like the ability to immediately change my game. It's like having a
Right.
taco and immediately putting a sauce on it, or a steak. And you're like, oh well, maybe you should have tried that without the A1 first. You're like,
Yeah,
I just like
maybe
it
you
with
should
A1.
try it
It's
how
like
it is
try
before
it
you
without
mod.
the A1 first.
Right. Yeah, and
Well,
that's kind of how I feel. Like, for example, I used to play a lot of WoW, and WoW had these like add-ons that you could download separately, which essentially just for me, I really liked them because it didn't fuck with the game at all. It was just like made the aesthetics more like doable, and it made some things a little simpler, and a lot of things they ended up adding later in the game themselves. But I don't like when a mod tries to change a game too much. That's an issue I have with some mods.
I
Like I
think
get
like
it,
the way
I
you guys are
understand the purpose
explaining it
of it,
though
but
is like improper because like you guys are saying, okay, well, a mod takes over the game and then they just run rampant. And there's ways to kind of separate the vanilla game versus like the extra mods. It's not something that would just automatically be inserted in the game. It would be things that people can go to a surface space, and then the people
think
who
about
actually
Warcraft 3 and think about Dota and how many people played Warcraft 3 like 5 years ago. And all those people were just playing Dota. I knew no people who played Warcraft 3 for the sake of Warcraft 3. They played it for Dota.
Okay, and
Like I said, at a certain point, the mod outshines the other game, and that's not necessarily like if as a game developer, if I spent my hard time making a game, and like yeah, it's cool, someone made something for my game that's pretty cool and pretty awesome and runs well, but that it takes away from the game that I made.
well, let's think about StarCraft. StarCraft outshined most of the fucking games that were created in their system, and that survived. You just need to make a good game. Like that's really all it comes down to. Just make a good game, and people will play your game. And if they mod it and
But
make
like
it better and
Warcraft
make
3
it
is
Warcraft 3 was an awesome game. It got to a point to where it just wasn't perfectly balanced.
Were people
And
able to
it
mod
was really
StarCraft like that from the beginning, though? From the very first day?
Yes, the arcade was there all
Warcraft
along.
3?
The arcade was there all along.
Yeah.
So all the special game modes were there from the beginning. And like we loved it when they did it for Diablo 2. There's a fair amount of mods for Diablo 2. Fucking I love those mods. It like made the game better. And it's just like it's just like you can choose to play these things the way you want to, and there's no problem with playing it vanilla, and you should have that option. But like having people create within your space is not a bad idea. Like they made a whole game about it. Super Mario Maker. It's fantastic. People love it, and it's like
Yeah, but that
I
game
don't understand how that crushes
just
your game.
sandbox. There's nothing else. Like
But I don't understand
you
how
want to release a game that's just a sandbox, do it. Mario Maker, Disney Infinity, whatever. But I think if you have a game that has content, that has story, that has something that you want people to get through, that you spent all your time making, do that first and then open up mods a little later, Like if you're going to do mods, I don't think it should be right away. Unless it's like a game that doesn't fucking matter, like Rocket League, There's people who play the regular game, there's people who play the mutators versions. It doesn't really change anything about
this may just be me, but if I pay $60 for a game and it has a campaign, I'm probably going to beat the campaign, and then I'll fucks with the mods afterwards. I don't really care that once they bought my product. I don't care. Like, what do you mean? Like, oh, well, let's wait till they get through my content. They did what I wanted to do, which was buy my game. And if they're buying it in bulk, you still get your worth from it. If people buy it just for the modding, who cares? They bought your game.
I guess, but I mean, maybe it's just me personally, but if I made something, if I spent the time making it, like if I made a pizza, right? I spent the all time making it, right? Great, delicious pizza. Really happy about it. Bring it out. I'm like, everybody, have a slice of pizza. And then they're just like, great. And they throw all their own shit on top of it before they even just like exactly what Alvin was just saying. Like, Just give it a shot before you fuck with it.
If it's my pizza,
I don't want to.
It's my slice. Like
if I make an album, if I release an album, I want someone to appreciate my music the way it is, the way I make it, and then later
you just running off with
you don't get to do that with art. You don't get to do that with art. Like, think about all the books that people write that are supposed to mean one thing, but the entire world takes it as another way. You know, like you don't get to pick and choose how people perceive and
you do get
consume
to pick
your
and choose. In fact, there are laws that protect it so that people can't mess with it for a certain amount of time.
What? That's not true.
Yes.
Not what I'm saying right now.
Those are the rights to
How people
stories.
perceive your art and consume your art is up to them. You know, like if I make a car,
that's the exact same
situation. If I make a car, you can have the rights that I don't want it to be raced in races, and people race it in races. That's fucking up to them. You know, like that's just the case, man. It's just like I don't understand why people can't do what they want with what they bought. Once I bought it, it's mine.
There's obviously a very large audience that's against it because, as I was saying, there are laws strictly for that. That's why there are laws for that in music. That's why there are laws for that in movies. That's why there are laws for that in books. That's why there are laws for that in art. Because once you make something of some type of content form and it is your original storytelling, then you can protect that.
It's only there for monetary gain. And I mean, even if you read, because I actually watched a few documentaries,
people are very serious
and stuff like that.
You know, there are tons of people. In fact, when I was in Oregon, like visiting like my girlfriend's parents, like that was one of the things we were talking about. Where I was like, yeah, I'm open to like the whole like creation of there's a Marvel character and people make their own little fan base, this and that and yada yada. I'm open to all that stuff, and they were like, nah, we don't dig it. We're all about just like straight up movies and this and that, or not straight up movies, but straight up books. Thanks for that follow. We're just about straight up this and that, and no.
I was wondering why he was up there.
Yeah, we don't like when people infringe upon others' work. That's just stealing somebody else's work. If you want to do that, then create your own completely original game like StarCraft and open it up. But don't jump on somebody else's game that's already called StarCraft and then work on that, because then you're infringing upon their work. So that's how people feel about
that's human existence.
That's how people
literally
feel about
existence.
it. That's why those
that's how
evolve.
Like that's how things evolve. That's how things get better. Is you go, okay, well, somebody made a phone. Okay, well, I'm gonna make a better phone. You don't go, well, I'm just gonna reinvent the wheel. That's silly. The only reason patents and things like that exist is simply so people can monetize their creation towards the world, so they can benefit from what they've created in the world. But you don't get to own ideas. You don't get to own concepts. That's just it's a fabricated thing in society. It's a cultural thing.
Mods should definitely come down to the developer. If the developer wants to open their game up for mods, so be it. Then it's their choice. I don't think everything needs to be modded. I don't think that everybody should have a set like I want to mod this, I'm gonna mod. Like you shouldn't be able to. Like there's certain things that are fine the way it is, and even if you don't feel that way, then it's not meant for you. Like that's fine and that's totally acceptable. But I don't think that like every game, like I don't think that developers should have to open their games up to modding if they don't want to.
I'm not arguing that every game has to. I just think that we're undertapping the creativity of our communities by going, okay, well, this is the only vanilla form that you can have of this type of thing. And I feel like people create their own ways of using something anyway. Like a few talk shows, before this, me and Alvin talked about zombies in Halo. That's not the way the game's designed.
Well, yeah, we're already saying that they should be able to open things up. We're already like, we don't think that it should just be completely closed. But it's at the point where and that was strictly like a stressor where it's like, especially like when the developer leaves their game, they should open it up so that fans can actually get to the game. The same as like with music, when it's like 75 fucking years later and the person's long dead and nobody remembers their song, and you're still trying to hold on to the rights of it so that nobody can ever remember that song was made.
I still feel bad for Mike Posner that the only versions of his song that ever played on the radios are remixes. Like I'm like, dude spends all these time making these songs, and then like the remix versions, the ones that get to play, so he gets like very little compensation off of that.
See,
I think that's just Like, I remember you, Smurf, taking that movie class that basically said, no, there's no such thing as original idea. We keep repeating the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. It's practically impossible to have an original idea. You know, like that's just the situation. You know, like that's how we're built as a species. We build on top of the things we've done in the past. You know, that's how evolution works. That's how genetics work. It's built into reality itself. And I think we're playing a game that we shouldn't. You know, put art out there. We should make a way that everybody can live and eat and have fun and do the things they want to. But I think we really hold ourselves back when we limit what people can do in the creative space. I think you should give as much power to that as possible. That doesn't mean that I think that every game should be modded. That's not what I'm saying. All I'm saying is I think we'd get much better things if we did let people create in these types of spaces.
And all we're saying is that yes, and that before the next X-Men movie comes out, you know, maybe let everybody watch the movie before also releasing in theaters a fan-made version of the movie, of that exact movie. Not even just a fan-made X-Men.
Give it a time.
Not even a fan-made X-Men. A fan-made version of that exact movie is now in theaters alongside it. Like, we're just saying, give it a second, so the creators can let their actual shit run.
Like
and then the creators can be like, all right, and now we wanted to test things out. Maybe they wanted to learn more shit that would become influential. Because it's like, that's the whole thing. Like with you creating anything, of course, if you make your shit open to everybody, people can always run off with it and make it better. And in fact, they will.
And that's why you want
to hang on to it for at least a little bit to see. Because if you open up to multiple minds, it's going to become better. It is, and that's why we're like, we do want that to happen. We do.
No person is the smartest person in the world. Someone will always make something slightly better.
Because that person's it's going to get way overshine.
It's true.
I mean, like, I would think about it the same way as music. If you make a song and it's awesome, and then somebody does like a cover or something like that, I'm not one of those guys that's like, oh, well, you got to wait to do covers. You know, I just don't like that. It's just like the current statute of limitations for these patents and, you know, creative licensing is like 30 years. Like, that's kind of crazy. You know, like,
and
there's a safe way to do it.
That is too much. It does need it, like, you know, things can be like shorter on that.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, I still think, you know, just some time on those things.
All right. Well, the D is here. You didn't mention anything. Before we go on to the next topic, did you want to mention anything about modding video games and all that stuff, grandeur stuff?
Nah, I think you three babbled about that for enough.
Oh man,
I got no opinion on mod. I'm not trying to be. I didn't mean that in a negative way. It's just, I have no opinion on modding because none of the games I play have mods.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But what if they did? Oh, Overwatch kind of has like an open play mode where you can kind of make makeshift shit now, you know, in the arcade where you can create
I've played
your
some
own
really fun games over there.
Well, I mean, like
quite a few, and that's it's becoming like, I bet there are a lot of little groups of people. I bet the younger you are, the better it is for it, because it was with my friends that were playing it more often all the time. They would like invite me to those type of things, and like I would still get invited to those. So I mean, it still happens, but it's like if you're actually in those communities, you get invited to these games. And it's shit where there's like, okay, everybody has, you know, it's Sombras versus this or something like that, and it's like, just like the way that people choose the characters makes sense to the game, like the name of the game type. It would be like Alien versus Predator, and it was like Sombras and what the fuck was that other one? I can't fucking remember.
The fixes that I would want,
like shit like that, or the Reinhardts versus the Mercies, and it's like a cat and mouse game.
There's like the boss battles where you have that one Reinhardt with like 1,000 HP and goes double speed and just swings his hammer, and you're just like, oh my god!
Yeah, that's what it was like. It's like you have like, well, we had like 2 Reinhardt, and then like everybody else is like Mercies, and the Mercies are a little sped up. And I forget the gun had any charges. I think it was just normal Mercy. And then the little sped up, and then you got these fucking super fucking fast Reinhardts running at you with extra HP, and there's like 6 versus 2 or whatever the fuck, and it's like it's really fucking hard.
It is very hard, but it's pretty fun. Especially if you're the Reinhardt. It's a lot of fun to be the Reinhardt in that game, though.
Yeah, but it's like, but they definitely do have that, and that's where people get creative, because that's the exact same way that Halo found zombies, was not through their own creativity, but through opening up that, and people went in there and were like, oh shit, we can make custom rooms, so let's make some custom, let's keep playing around.
The problem with that is like, I want Overwatch to be competitive. and like those like arcade modes that they have are somewhat fun, but I'm in such a competitive mindset right now with that game that like I don't find it necessary at the moment.
But I think
Like I
that's how they
understand,
find things
I
to make
understand change
competitive.
can come from it. I understand change and new ideas, and Blizzard can go, "Oh, you see what our fans created? We should implement this into this game." I can understand that, but like,
You realize Overwatch launched and there was no competitive.
Well, no, but I mean,
No,
even
there
regular
was.
There
quick play
wasn't.
has
No, there wasn't.
competitive.
No, there wasn't for a long time.
No,
There wasn't.
no, competitive didn't come until a couple months later.
Yeah,
But
competitive
I mean,
like
even
it launched in like May. Competitive came like that fall.
but even still, like I mean, competitive is just another branch of quick play. You still have that same competitive nature in quick play that you don't
Quick
really
play,
have in any of the arcade modes.
nobody takes quick play seriously. Nobody takes quick play
Yeah,
seriously.
it definitely completely changed the market. When,
I would
when they
prefer to
opened
win
up
than
for them.
You have six.
You
when
would
have
prefer
six-
to, but that's not how
Yes.
everybody treated it. Some
on
people were just
defense.
like, nah.
Nobody take that seriously. I'm just
And
saying.
it definitely just changed up the whole mindset the second.
Dude,
it
Alvin was in a
competitive.
game with a dude who just kept waving before, and it was competitive. So
Oh yeah,
some people
dude.
don't take that
Like,
shit
my
seriously.
team was like, they were like, should we just like wave at him? I'm like, no, dude. I'm just gonna every time. That fucking, I still can't believe that Ana died, dude. Like it was a Junkrat, and so like I'm killing the dude every time. Like my first shot on you is probably a headshot. I gotta punch you or something. Which was exactly what's happening while the team is like, oh, should we not kill him? I'm like, no, there's no choice. He's gonna die. And the Ana's just walking on top of the guy. After it was a Junkrat. Oh, I can't believe I just died. I'm like, I wish you weren't so ass. Like, I'm so happy this dude is throwing because you were so
Like,
bad for that.
We need to have a whole talk show on how to fix competitive. Like I have so many ideas we could go on. Like I think that should be like one of our next topics. Is
What's
like,
wrong with? Well, we can say that, but I don't think there's anything wrong with the competitive. Actually,
there is. There's completely things wrong with competitive.
Completely.
There's. I mean, I poor word grouping, but it's like.
Quick, one thing. We'll give you one thing, and we'll save the rest for another day when we do this topic more in depth. What's one thing you really think they should change?
Well, I think they need to create a whole separate queue. I mean, Big Daddy Jeff already talked about it. They're like thinking about throwing in a quitters queue. Like if you deem that you've quit too many times,
kind of like whatchamacallit, like Smash has. If you get reported too much, you go.
They do have something in place for that type of deal already. Actually, it's like, well, it's not. I don't think it's for. No, it might apply to quitting too. But it's like when you drop so many, and in fact they just ban you. Like,
yeah, they permanent.
It's permanent ban.
They do.
People
in Smash,
are pissed because people are
in Smash,
accidentally.
they do
But I'm
that
like,
too.
you accidentally let it happen too many times.
No, in Smash they do that too. But the difference is instead of like perma banning your account, they just make you play with other people who also fucking suck as much as you do.
And it's shorter times for Smash. They're like, no, you did it too many times. And that's like, you go to this forum for that question, and it's just like people like, why? Like, I hate you, change it, please let me back.
And at the same time, Big Daddy Jeff's like, we're just gonna throw a reg tag on somebody's name. It has something to do with fighting games. Apparently, in fighting games, they would have red tags over people's names if they left match
connection issues and left.
I mean, but that's stupid. Like, I still don't want to play with you. If you have a reg tag over your name and you're in my game, I think you're gonna quit. So I don't want you with me.
Yeah, then I would just quit before you could.
Yeah, exactly. So get the fuck out. Like, go play quick. And like,
I agree. There should probably be a red tag room, but I think there should also be a way to get yourself out of the red tags because sometimes it's not always. Some people just have shitty internet, and maybe they shouldn't be playing on shitty internet.
Mm-hmm.
But
too bad. Like, get better internet. Like, but that's not fair to me. Like, that's
no, right? Yeah. No, I'm saying that, but like, what if you do get better internet, but you're already relegated to red tagness?
Then you can
make a whole new account.
You can work out of it by not quitting.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, right. That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, I think you should be able to. I'm down with the red tagging and keeping all the red tags in their own game, but I think after if you can play 5 matches in red tag games and be fine and not be like a shitty person and not get reported and not get disconnected and nothing like that, you should be able to join the rest of the world again.
And on console, it's not even fixable. It's implementable on Overwatch on PC because there's an actual reporting system.
Right. Oh yeah, because Blizzard actually runs the reporting feature, and not like in the console one where it's Xbox and Sony
Microsoft
mans the report thing, and they're like,
We can't do anything. You're fucking
Well,
stupid.
we only ban people with offensive gamer tags.
Exactly, or we offensive language. It's so stupid. But we'll save that topic for another day. I have so many other things. I watch so many videos about Overwatch, and I have so much.
I can't wait for the Dave-led podcast about this. Dave talks for like 3 minutes on a normal podcast, but I'm gonna make you talk for like an hour on this topic. So this is gonna be great.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to leave you with a few things.
But make sure you actually get your picture when we do that too.
Right. Show up on time. Show up on time so people can see you.
People need to see those facial reactions with how pissed you are at Overwatch.
I don't want
So we'll go ahead and leave this topic. Jake mentioned, GTA. Imagine GTA with all the worlds combined and that being modded in. Fucking amazing. Or San Andreas with proper gang fights and shit. Pretty fucking awesome. Anyways.
They'd be taking a page out of the old Bethesda book.
Yeah. And I mean, like, if they would have let people mod it would have happened faster. But, hey, whatever. And probably
there is
way
mods
cheaper.
for GTA.
Yeah,
there's tons of mods for GTA.
There are tons
You
can play Mario characters in GTA. You can play the
I'm talking about Bethesda. You guys went on Bethesda. And I was like, if they would have let people mod the creation of those worlds, they would have. There were quite a few people who did it for Elder Scrolls who like officially kind of created the 3 worlds. But I mean, I think that you should let people create that stuff, and they should just buy it and then polish it the way they want to. But that's whatever.
I think honestly, companies if they really want people to create the game, just release Gary's mod, release a Mario Maker, release a Sonic Maker, something of that nature, and then just feel like fucking have at it. Make your own goddamn game, because. Fuck it. Some people will pay $50 to make their own damn game. I mean, I had Mario Maker. I played it once, and then I realized I'm not a maker. I'm a player.
I'm not a maker. I'm a player.
There's an MMORPG game that's like whatchamacallit? What's that boxy game? Like Minecraft.
Roblox?
No, like Minecraft.
Talking about Roblox here?
I don't think it's called Roblox. It's like Pixel or something like that.
Oh, Trove?
I think it's called Pixel something. I don't know. It's like one of the top games, like when you look it up on Steam.
I don't know. I'm just saying games that I know are kind of like Minecraft and kind of blocky, which is Trove and the other thing I said, Roblox.
Like,
my nephew plays
Roblox. Come out within the last few months, because last year, because otherwise no.
No, they've been out for a while.
Yeah, no,
this is like this
is an MMORPG that's Minecrafty, so you just create everything in the world and stuff like that and fight and yada yada yada.
It might be Trove. I think I don't know if Trove is an MMORPG, but it's definitely an RPG. It's not that great though, but it is. I do like the creation aspect of it. I guess if you're into that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm not gonna play it, but because I'm not down for the whole Minecraft type deal. I'm like, oh, cool, I can have a sword, and like, but I don't want to really do the whole thing to get that.
Dude, I love so much that like when because Microsoft owns Minecraft, so that when they're showing Minecraft at their like presentations, like updated graphics, like really updated graphics?
Yeah, like what's updated graphics in Minecraft?
Is this what we're calling updated graphics these days?
It'll be updated graphics when I see like a square block of water. It's just like actually moving water in like a little square. The grass is like actually blades of grass that are just fucking packed in really tight, and you're like, whoa, that's insane. Mm-hmm. Then there'll be updated graphics.
Jake is a Roblox guy. My nephew's also a Roblox guy. I've never played it, but I know you can spend a lot of money really quick doing nothing in that game, which I think is interesting.
So we're going to move on to the last subject. It's going to be brief. I just want to know your thoughts because, Pokemon's popular. But Pokemon, they announced a new one. Is it going to be any different than any of the other Pokemons?
No.
They don't make different Pokemon.
And it doesn't need to be.
Not for the actual consoles. All they do is like, hey, I think probably it's hey, you can now plug in your game and play it over here. We've got Pokemon on Switch.
The new Pokemon that they're developing for the. What? Go ahead.
It didn't sound like it was going to be a port. It sounded like it was going to be a real game.
No, it's a brand new. It's not. They're not porting Sun and Moon. They already said they're not doing that.
It's Snap Switch.
No, they're doing a brand new core Pokemon game for the Switch. And it'll play probably like all the other Pokemon games because if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
That's how you do
it. They're solid games. It's gonna be good. It's gonna look better than the DS ones, and the DS ones surprisingly already look pretty good. like Sun and Moon and X and Y. I think and X and Sun and Moon. I don't know if any of you guys are actually Pokemon guys here, played Pokemon or played the new ones. Sun and Moon was way different than the older Mons. Whereas like they don't have a gym system anymore. They have like these island kahunas, and they made it a little bit different in that sense. And they made traveling a little different, and there's no more HMs. Like they did a lot of cool things in this new Pokemon. So I'm really excited to see what they do with the one on the Switch. I don't know how you can make it much better looking unless like the combat actually looks like combat, but at the same time that kind of goes against like their child friendly like demeanor and shit. But it's like the battles already kind of look like they do in Pokemon Stadium, which to me was always like the peak Pokemon battles. Like when I'd hook up my blue version into the little cartridge reader and shove it in the back of my N64 and not only play blue version on the big screen, which was unnecessary, but I loved it, but having my Pokemon there and doing like a real battle system, I thought that was dope.
And now they disappointed kind of, like, I am that when I plugged in that cartridge, it did not upgrade me to Nintendo 64 graphics.
Yeah, I was bummed about that too. That's exactly what I thought it was when they announced it, and then I was like, oh, okay, I just play my Game Boy game on a big screen. I'll live with it. It's a living. It looks bluer than my gray screen.
This sushi chef of yours some more. Yeah.
And I think everybody here is a Pokemon fan. I just refuse to buy all the equipment that it takes to actually play the game.
They're solid. They're good RPGs. If you lived near me, I would let you borrow my my DS and Moon. I guess you'd have to erase my file, but I'm not really too concerned about it. I beat it. I did what I had to do.
Really?
I'm not going pro in Pokemon. What?
As far as my Pokemon's concerned, I don't think I'm letting people delete my file. I'm kind of. I might like.
I want to.
So now you can.
I can plug in my red. I can plug in my red today. I can plug in my red and my blue and my yellow.
You probably can actually. The batteries are probably dead.
And they got the same. I still got my levels.
I'd like to. Can you take a picture of that and send me? Because my blue version and yellow version, both of the batteries died and will not save anymore. But anyway,
I'm gonna get it for you when I go to homecoming.
Now they have with Pokemon on the 3DS and stuff. They have this thing called the Pokemon Bank. So all I would have to do is get the Pokemon Bank, transfer all my Pokemon over to it, and then I'd let you play, and I wouldn't feel anything because I still had all the Pokemon that I worked hard like training and shit, and I could transfer them over to the new game if I wanted to.
Well, that sounds like cheating.
So sounds like cheating.
That's cool, man.
I don't know what happened.
I just wish they would make something that felt competitive. Like Pokemon always just felt like a grind.
It is.
It didn't really feel like there was actually any
competitive to EV Train, which is how you get your Pokemon stronger, like their hidden stats. There's also IVs, which is a pain in the ass, and I don't worry about any of that because I'm not going pro in Pokemon. But there's a good competitive scene in Pokemon. It's just hard to get into because, like any competitive scene, that game, it doesn't take so much like training yourself as much as it does actually physically training the Pokemon and seeing what other people are using in certain situations. But I was actually just reading earlier about a Pokemon tournament in Japan where people were using all sorts of like weird ass Pokemon, and I think that's cool.
Yeah,
I think that's really good for the
some
scene.
Stuff the other day on Pokemon. I was really, I don't know how the hell I stumbled across this, but I was like, oh, Pokemon tournaments. Oh, that's actually 10-year-olds. Okay.
Yeah. Because that's what they do. Like at Pokemon Worlds, they have the junior trainer and they have like the master trainer.
I was like, well, they must. I'm like, how the fuck would you have a Pokemon? I'm like, everybody can obviously max out. I'm like, they must just be really fucking good at selections. Like their selections and their moves are like fucking on point.
Having the right items equipped, having your guy EV trained and IV trained properly. But if anyone's in the competitive scene, obviously their shit is going to be trained properly, and then just being, it's kind of like a chess match almost, like trying to read what your opponent will do and then being like, well, maybe I should use my priority move this turn. And like a priority move is a move that's guaranteed to go first. So you're like, oh, well, my speed's not as high as his probably, but if I use this, I should be able to take him out firsthand. Like I had one of my favorite Pokemon in X and Y was this guy Aegislash, and he was a sword and shield, and he had two forms. He had sword mode, where he like had the sword out and he would do double attack, and I had shield mode where he would take like half damage. So I'd beef him up in shield mode, like I beef up his attack, and then not take so much damage. And then I would boom, priority move, one shot, kill people. And that's how I would move through it. But I never trained my guys properly, so I couldn't ever go pro. I could just beat the shit out of some of my friends in the game, which felt good.
I don't know. I remember the one Pokemon battle me and Smurf had where it was unfortunately, either my Game Boy died or his Game Boy died. But it just felt like we were throwing Pokemon out there, and every Pokemon would die in 2 hits no matter what. And it was just like, oh, okay, well, that one got the first attack. So, that Pokemon's dead. All right, well, here's my Blastoise.
Once again, it's all about knowing the other Pokemon, knowing their weaknesses, their types, and having a Pokemon to meet that. One of my favorite Pokemon to use was in X and Y was Greninja with his hidden ability, and that made it so whatever type move he used, it transformed his type into that, which made it very hard for people to read what type my Greninja would be, and it would make it harder for them to act upon. Stuff like that.
Again, this is not really a competitive game, but
it is 100% a competitive game. It's the game that's had tournaments for it since it existed, and it still does today. Very big tournaments. They have a young kids tournament. They have an adults tournament. They do it in Japan. They do it in here. They host a worldwide tournament every year. I think this year's might be in France. I'm not 100% sure. I remember a couple years ago it was in Hawaii. But I think it is a very competitive game, but I just don't think because you're not in the competitive scene,
It's not designed to be competitive because people make it competitive.
100% is.
What is the framework that makes it competitive?
It's like chess.
That's kind of what
it's like chess.
I was like, yeah, it's pretty
what,
much at that point when everybody's maxed out, it becomes
it's not
chess.
I can do the combos faster than you. It's what is this guy gonna do? What am I gonna do? How do I make sure that this guy doesn't kill my guy? Should I send out this Pokemon? Should I wait? Should I Mega Evolve this Pokemon? What item should I hold? Because only certain Pokemon can hold certain items. I can only have one Mega. I can only have one whatever that other new shit that they added, Z moves for Sun and Moon. I can only have one Z move. So it's a process. It's a thinking game. It's not an action game. It's a thought based game, and I think it is a hugely competitive game. Hugely.
I'm going to agree to disagree, but obviously it has a scene, and I'll respect the scene. So it is whatever. So we'll leave it at that, and I think that kind of closes up. Next week or not next week. In 2 weeks, we'll probably end up either talking about Overwatch and/or going into the open world discussion about open world games, how we feel about them and stuff like that. And I think that draws us to a close. If you're new here,
I'd like to thank our audience. Jake Gurr 33, you've been fun to have. It was nice to have you here. Nice to have you interacting with us and being a part of the discussion. And come back. We'll be back. We usually do these on Tuesdays, so you're always welcome back. And tell your friends. We love having other people with us.
So other than that, I was going to do the other plugs of Money Match Gaming. We're an online video game tournament company that holds online video game tournaments with prizes. Currently, we only host for Super Smash Bros., but we plan to host for Overwatch as soon as our website is done. And
Rocket League, baby.
Yeah, Rocket League, when that comes about. We got to build the site and stuff for it eventually, one day, possibly. And, if you're interested, you can check that stuff out. And hopefully you had a good time like we did. And, you can take us away, Danny boy.
Okay. Taking them away. I don't know. What should I do? Bye, everybody.
There we go. That works.